compiling this new curriculum was based on what you asked for. About a year or half ago, a survey was sent out, and you were asked, what did you want in a new curriculum? What didn't you want in a curriculum? What were the items that you wanted to see? What didn't you want to see? What would you think would make a better lesson? How would I do this, and how can I do that in terms of working with students? So I listened to you, and based on what you asked for and what you were looking for and what your needs and wants were, within reason, we put together a new curriculum. This was a very difficult task because we had 4 months to do it. But I have to give credence to not only the curriculum committee, but to God. Let me give you an example of something that I have seen not too long ago. We've always seen award ceremonies. We all have seen award ceremonies. We all have seen different types of Oscar awards. And the recipient will come forward and say, well, I'd like to thank my mother. I'd like to thank my father. I'd like to thank the lighting committee. I'd like to thank the wardrobe committee. I'd like to thank Pizza Hut. I'd like to thank, and as an afterthought, it's like, and thank God. Well, we do that in reverse. What I say before you, all glory to God and all the good things that He has done. And with that, I have to bring forth those on the curriculum committee. I'm going to talk about the curriculum in a minute, but this is important. Helen Partridge. Stand, Helen, please. Yes, Helen Partridge was an integral part of putting this curriculum together because she worked with another curriculum to edit, to pull apart, to put together everything so as we can compile a new curriculum. This manual is made up of 4 different sources. It's the 10 Commandments, it's part of the 10 Commandments, part of the Big Truths, part of the Southern Baptist, and also the Jesus Story book. All of that information was put together and put in this manual. Helen did that. Helen compiled all of the Janice Pascal. Janice was my sister. I leaned heavily on her. I'm sorry. But when I finished with that, she may not want to be my sister. But I leaned on her. I leaned on Janice. Janice did the copying. Janice did the cutting. Janice was the one to say, I see something that's wrong. I said, oh. Janice was the one that kept me in focus. Elaine had a daunting job. In this new curriculum, there's a question that says, what was Jesus, what did you learn about Jesus from this lesson? Now, that's not easy when you're talking about Noah, or you're talking about Jonah. What did you learn about Jesus? Because this whole curriculum is about Jesus. What did you learn about Jesus? Elaine put that together. She gave examples for teachers to work off of because sometimes it's not easy to think of these things while you're teaching. She gave examples of that. She did a lot of the applications. Excellent. Laura, how would I put Laura? Laura was counselor. Laura was the one that you went to if you needed direction. No, we don't put this in there. Yes, we put that there. She was the one that organized. She was the organizer. Marcy Hardy. Marcy started working on the 10 Commandments. We were going to do the 10 Commandments this year, but I got pushback. And I was told you wanted a new curriculum, so we had to sidestep the 10 Commandments. Marcy took that 10 Commandments that we had done, and she went through line by line, page by page, word by word, for months, for weeks. She worked so hard. She worked diligently on that. She worked very hard, very hard. And I looked at her work, and I was about to put it in the computer till I heard we're going to do a new curriculum. So we sidestepped that, and that will be prayerfully our curriculum for this coming year. That is the curriculum committee. It's Elaine, Helen, Janice, Laura, and Marcy. So you say, so what did you do? Yeah, I know. What did I do? I said, I pulled it together. That's right. I took all the information that they gave me and I put it in the computer. I formatted, I put it together, and I literally eyed 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, I'll be finished, and Janice says no because I see another problem. The next day, I'm working on it. It's 10 o'clock Sunday morning. I said, I got to get to church. I got to get to church. I got to get to church. Helen called me. She said, I see something. Okay, so we went that way for a long time. But finally, last night, I'm going to give you a short overview. Those that have the curriculum, we're going to open it. The first top page is, we just call the contents. Most of this you're going to read on your own. I'm just going to guide you through it. I'm going to give you, yes. No, give them curriculum, right? Jenny, contents. The next page, it says overview. I'm not going to go through reading the overview because you'll read that on your own. It's our mission statement from CLCA, a general overview, a note from Laura, and a portion, the bottom part is taken from CLCA. The lesson curriculum. The curriculum, that's the next page. The curriculum, a walk through the Bible, consists of the memory verse journal. This is the teacher's manual that you have. And all this is in one manual. I'll explain after break. The memory verse journal is in there. Teaching resource information. That's information for teachers that have students that are accelerated. The applications, there are 2 forms of applications. There are Bible memory verses, which will be highlighted in red. The Lord's Prayer, which we'll be teaching the children throughout the year. It's not just one day. You'll have it posted and they'll be saying it all year long. You've got to know that. Visuals, it's in your memory verse, it's in your curriculum. And a review sheet. The next we'll go into is assessment. I'm not going to go into details about the assessment, but it's important to assess the children to understand their learning ability. Do they understand? Have they been into the Bible? Do they know who Jesus is? Do they know their names and addresses? Learning disabled, we'll talk about that at another time, but it's there for you to read. The other portion, it says creative teaching. I know some of you have said, well, I've already been through the book took. I've read it in the other curriculums. I don't want to read it anymore. I know what it is. We have to be careful about becoming complacent. We do this. We get comfortable with what we think we know. You go to church because you don't know it all. And if you knew it all, you wouldn't go. We're in a learning position all the time. We have to continue to learn. And the more we learn, the more we have to teach. And we have to be expansive in our thinking, in our learning. So what happens, the took book, look book, I would suggest that you read that again. Read it again. Seriously, re-educate yourself. I do this daily. I re-educate myself. Read it, read it, read it. It will help you in teaching. Testing, quizzing. This has been a very, how do you put it? What's the word? A lot of discussion. Testing and quizzing has been a lot of discussion about it. Some like to do it this way, some like to do it that way. Teaching is not an award for the teacher. Testing is not an honor badge for the teacher if the children gets it correct. And I'm going to explain that a little bit. Janice, come. Let me try something. Janice is my student. All right? Janice, she's a good student. She means well. And if she doesn't behave, she means well. She wants to do well, but Janice just has difficulty. And I just pulled Janice out of the classroom from amongst her friends, from amongst the children that she's comfortable with. And I have her in the corridor, and I'm standing in front of her, and I'm going to test her on a memory verse. And I know that she really doesn't understand, but I'm going to make myself look good here because she is one of my students, and I'm a powerful teacher. Now, Janice. Yes, Mrs. White. What verse in the Bible tells us to hide God's word?
Oh, I know. Genesis 1:1.
No, it's the verse. It starts with a P. It's like Psalms. Yes. Give me the number. Psalm what, Janice?
119.
Yes, 119 what? Where's the verse? Where's the verse? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What comes after 10?
11.
Right, that's right. So what is it? Psalm
119, 11.
Yes, all right. Now give me the verse, Janice. What's this?
Your eyes.
I what? I have. What's this when you do?
You see it, you see in your hand, open you're hiding your eyes. You're
Hide.
Hidden.
Right. I have hidden.
Your. Words.
Now this will go on and on and on. Does Janice know that memory verse?
No.
And I walk into the classroom, I said, she knows her verse. I've known this to happen. We don't do that. That's not testing. That's not testing. It's a form of teaching, but it's not testing. Please don't. We don't do that. Because what we do when we do that, when we prompt to the point of giving them the answer and then rewarding them, we're telling them, you can say and do anything you want and you will be rewarded. They take that into life. I can get it wrong and it doesn't matter because I'm going to get a reward anyway. That's not what God wants us to teach the children. We don't do that. One other incident, and I've known this to happen. Little boy, he didn't know the memory verse. He went out into the corridor. I don't like that pulling children out into the corridor. And I'll show you how you can teach, because if you're teachers, you'll know whether or not those students know the memory verse. And you don't have to segregate them, because sometimes it causes a confrontation, or oftentimes it intimidates. So the boy is pulled into the corridor. He doesn't know the memory verse, but he comes back into the class, and the other little boy, his friend, says, I don't want to. And all this is personal information. This is not hearsay. And the little boy said, I don't know, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. Don't worry about it, she'll tell you. You don't want that. That's not fair to the children. That's not what we teach the children. So we have to be very clear on that. And the next section, I will tell you how, will show you how to test without giving up the answers. The next is teaching memory verses to children. This you can read. This was in the other curriculum. Rewards and positive reinforcement. Giving rewards for bad behavior, allowing incorrect answers to pass is okay. Allowing disrespectful or negative attitudes is reinforcing poor character. Giving a reward to a disruptive or non-performing student because it makes them feel better. Oh, I'm just going to give him a reward that makes him feel better. I want the child to like me. I don't want the child to misbehave. I want to do something nice. I want to be a good teacher. Rewarding that child for those types of misbehaviors and incorrect answers is not doing that child any good. It's not about you, it's about God, and it's about your word to these children from God. How you feel is not important here. Your love for the children and your word with God to the children is what's important. They're good teachers, and they're better teachers, and they are betterest. Recognizing students and misbehavior. The next page, criteria for rewards, you can read that. Types of rewards, you can read that. Important, do not over-reward or indulge the students. The rewards will then not become effective as an incentive for learning. Every day you just don't pass out the reward. Oh, you want to, you okay? Oh, your answer, yes, good. Here's a reward, here's a reward, here's a reward. Just arbitrarily handing out rewards without them working for it. It has to be given for a reason. You just don't reward. Somebody's going to give you something, just goes, well, okay. There must be a reason. There has to be a reason why you reward a child. And the child has to know this. That means they have to try as hard as they can. We're not asking for perfection. We're not asking for anything above and beyond their ability to learn. Some children learn here, some here, some here. This is all we expect. We try to pull them from here to here, or from here to here, but if they're here and they can't go there, we have 35 minutes. We cannot change their environment, we cannot change their home life, we cannot change the schools. The only thing we can change is to teach them how to have a relationship with God. We can change that in them. The last is about time management. You can read this on your own. It's important to get the students back to school, et cetera, et cetera. When they say 5 minutes, that's it. 5 minutes, close your books, pack up, let's go. All right? We're going to have a break.